Hello everyone and welcome back to Timberborn. This is episode 13, playing through the one pod challenge. Right off the bat I want to take a look at the power situation. We currently have 5400 HP provided, but we need a whopping 6700 HP since we added in a lot of new buildings in the last episode. And while we do have some engines, we are also running short on wood, so we are in a little bit of a pickle because in the last episode we also realized that we were at the limit of what the power rails could provide for this system, since the bad water had backed all the way up to here and was starting to flood the banks. So we can't extend this system any farther. We'll have to look at getting some water rails set up somewhere else. We can try putting back an impermeable floor. We'll see if this does anything. We now have a spillway over here, so we know that the bad water should start going out this way if the water starts backing up. And I did shift this wall back ever so slightly, so that might shorten the hydraulic length that the bad water needs to go through. And we also removed the impermeable flooring at the very end of the system. But I'll keep an eye on it, make sure everything is good, and this system should be able to prevent any extra flooding. But in the long run, it probably will mean that we need to get some more engines up and running, unfortunately. And since those take wood, we want to look at expanding our planting zones. We have a lot of trees planted right now, and some of them hopefully should be starting to grow up pretty shortly. But in the meantime, we should look at getting some more trees planted. I think this area is an excellent candidate since we already have some irrigation right here. We'll just look at putting some dirt blocks around this direction since we're not using anything over here. And we actually have a decent amount of unemployed bots. We currently have 5 builders huts and 2 hauling posts. I want to get some more set up, but we are running out of space over here a little bit, and we could be utilizing this green space. So instead I'm going to try and get some of those buildings moved over here and get some new ones constructed here as well. So we'll go ahead and get 6 builders huts set up. We can replace the 5 that were there, plus get an additional one set up. And then we can go ahead and get a couple hauling posts set up over here. And I'm assuming we'll need some more builders huts in the future, especially as we ramp up production, specifically of dirt blocks and hopefully some wood. And then we could fit a couple builders huts right in here. And on the bright side, we are starting to have some trees get chopped down. We should have a iron bot in here instead of a beaver, since he was not doing anything. And even with both of these, we gotta bump all these up to 10. Okay, now we have some extra jobs. We can go ahead and pause this other hauling post. We don't want to have any unemployed bots, so we'll go ahead and get this other builder's hut up and running. In fact, you know what? Let's just get 2 more placed right over here. And then we can start getting rid of some of these other ones over here, which will give us some more wood, and that'll be very helpful in these trying times with only 19. And we can go ahead and extend the planting of oak trees as much as we can. And unfortunately, it looks like the bad water is starting to back up once again, and it is actually overflowing over here. I'm a little bit stumped as to what to do. We'll try and remove an impermeable floor a little bit farther down the system, so it makes this last bit a lot more inefficient, which is unfortunate, but maybe that'll lower the water elevation. They're still making this humongous wall of dirt over here, and then next they'll start on this one. Plus, in the background, we do have this gigantic bad water diversion system. They are starting to work on this. Seems like they are gathering what materials they can in order to construct this. Although before they construct this whole thing, I do want to test if 3 wide is big enough for the water to get through. So we'll unsink this, raise it all the way up, and then do the same for this one. Theoretically, this should be okay, and we shouldn't have too big of an issue. But if this starts overtopping, then I'll need to make an adjustment to both this and the design. Looks like removing that single impermeable floor has been helping. It allows this water rail to work full efficiency. This one is way less efficient. But that is just how the cookie crumbles. We'll stick with this for now. Which means, unfortunately, that I think that we are at our limits of what we can fit over here. We could get some more engines, but I just don't think that is the best way to get power into the system, especially considering we are so low on wood right now. And we do have a drought approaching. Fortunately, we have at least one of these bad water discharge domes placed down. I think I want to get another one set up. Let's go ahead and place that right here. It costs a lot of gears. We do have a decent amount. And metal blocks, we are also doing great. Plus explosives. Yeah, they're all looking good. So let's go ahead. We'll prioritize this for construction and then leave it open. That will help give us a constant supply of power and not have it during the drought. Oh boy, we have a lot of trees over here. We'll go ahead and get a few extra lumberjack flags set up for now. And then we can continue to mark all of these areas to get planted with some oak trees. I'm hoping that the rest of our colony will look like this pretty soon, since it seems like we've been planting so much oak lately. It just takes forever for it to grow up. And just like that, the drought has started. But fortunately for us, this will not actually be impacting us. Our main area will stop getting water, but that is not the worst thing. Fortunately, we'll get to keep all of our power since the bad water spawners will continue. We can actually go ahead and pause some of these food factories since we're completely maxed out on these different foods. And it does look like we are starting to have some more oak trees growing up, which is giving us a good amount of wood. We are not at 0 now. And so I do want to look at getting another power station set up because I want to get even more dirt excavators constructed, but I don't want to add to that system anymore since they are pretty much tapped out. So we could go ahead and squeeze something in right along here, get some water wheels set up. Or maybe it makes the most sense to have the water go around in this direction. That way we can extend it as far as we need to. Okay, so at this point it feels like I'm terraforming Mars. I have so many dirt blocks placed down here. And I also have some water wheels set up. We'll go ahead and raise all of these to be prioritized. And then we can also lower all of this since we don't really need this to be terraformed right now. But it does look like they finished constructing all the dirt blocks over here, which is excellent news. And wow, they have actually made some good progress over here. They've almost made their way out here into the main structure, and wood is actually not the limiting factor now. Looks like we are maxed out on as many planks as we can produce right now. You know, we should actually look at getting a second grease factory unlocked, since we have so many bots, but we don't really have any grease anywhere. We only have one available right now. So, looks like they're about to construct this pretty much immediately. And then we'll make sure we have this prioritized by haulers, try and get all the bots a nice little boost. And just like that, they have actually started working on this structure now. And once again, our logs have dropped basically to 0. So let's go ahead and start getting some platforms set up over here. We'll have a few overhangs in this direction. And then we'll also have some dirt blocks set to be placed over here. Looks like the bots have made their way down here. So now they're starting to place all the dirt that they can. Unfortunately, the charging stations that are close enough to them are now out of power. These gravity batteries did not survive the entire time. But actually, we do want to go ahead and start pausing these, since I don't want to accidentally construct them and then trap some bots down here. And just like that, the drought is officially over. We have started the 24th cycle, and we have been flying through those. And the bots are starting to construct the wall on the backside here. And now that they can actually reach all of this, hopefully they can go ahead and get some of this wrapped up with the more dirt blocks that they can place down. But pretty soon we can go ahead and get this opened up. We'll just need to close off this little space right here. We are starting to accumulate a few bots who need a charge. With the increased bot count, we are going to be running into that more and more often. And the water has finally returned, flowing out this way. So now we have all these charging stations up and running. And I actually shored up this side because we had a bunch of water escaping around here. And even this might not even be the most efficient system. But we're getting more power than we need, which means we can actually charge up these gravity batteries, even if it's pretty slowly. And so now let's go ahead and get these last couple levees placed down. And then make sure that we can actually fit some water wheels in here without having this water flood everywhere. Looks like they completed it, and so far the water is fitting through here just fine, which means we can go ahead and get these 3 large water wheels placed down. And then the next step will just need to be to connect them all and then start constructing some of the buildings that these water wheels will be powering. And one of the first ones is going to be the dirt excavator. Although we do need to set it up so that the bots can actually construct this, since we are stockpiling some dirt surprisingly. And we once again have some unemployed bots, so let's go ahead and unpause some of these builder sets over here. And since we're not going to be adding in any more buildings that require power over here, I think this backside is a good candidate to get some more storage set up, since we're almost maxed out on treated planks, and we actually are maxed out on metal blocks at the moment. Plus we can also get some storage for sand that's a little bit closer to these buildings. And oh my goodness, the bots have made some excellent progress over here. This whole system is actually coming together pretty quickly. I thought it would take them a lot longer to even get this far. And then once the bots have constructed all that they can, which I think will be this column right here, then we'll have them work on getting this set up, and we'll get some stairs leading up, and then we can start having them make their way around this area. We'll get some more platforms placed on top and then do the same on the corners over here. And we are having some more trees pop up. Like, they are popping up pretty quickly over here. And oh my goodness, we have so many dirt blocks. Looks like we already shifted some of these storages to be dirt, so that is why they're accumulating it so quickly. And as soon as we can get a new path connected over here, we'll look at trying to lower this one level right here, and then we can get some more contamination barriers set up all along this area, and then we'll continue to expand our dirt blocks placed down in this area. And it looks like they did finish constructing all 3 of these water wheels. So now they're making their way down here and getting some more of the dirt blocks placed. We are still accumulating bots. We have an unemployed one right now. We honestly have more than we need, I feel like, at the moment, so we'll go ahead and pause this one bot assembler entirely. And so we do know that we can always ramp up production of bots if we start to run a little bit low. Oh my gosh, we only have 2 bot assemblers up and running now. So this one was also paused, and now we have this one paused. I guess the addition of grease has just helped them work that much faster. So now we're just accumulating bots left and right. We are going to fully utilize all this green space over here. We'll get even more oak trees planted. Since we clearly have some crops that are just not being harvested, these guys are maxed out on all the food that they have. We just don't have that many beavers, so they don't eat food that quickly. But that is a good thing, so we'll always have some food reserves, which will be excellent. And it looks like this guy, he chopped down the few trees that there were basically immediately. And so we can place down the last few pieces of dynamite. Ooh, and removing all of these dirt blocks that extended that nasty zone from the bad water. So let's go ahead and place down all these irrigation barriers. And we can also slowly start expanding our dirt block placements. And so one thing we can go ahead and look at doing is rearranging these systems over here. Since I do want to extend the overhangs over all the way into this area. And we can probably do something similar with this over here. So for now we'll get rid of both of these showers. And instead we can get them placed over in this area. You know, we can actually fit a few more over here. As long as we get a path set up here. And then we'll have the dynamite placed down this way. We can go ahead and detonate it. And then we'll be able to get some showers placed down. Look at that. So we could fit so many showers. There's no way they're going to use all of these, but we'll just have a few extras. And so we can also get a couple temporary water pumps set up until I figure out what we want to do in the long run. And while we're waiting to figure out where we can actually place some buildings over here, let's go ahead and get a few charging stations set up. Since we have the power, might as well utilize it. And we can also temporarily connect this system into this one, and then we can get these gravity batteries charged up. And we do have a bad tide approaching in 3 days, but what I'm looking forward to is seeing these gravity batteries charge up super fast, because now this whole power system, it has way more than it needs. But that is also going to mean that when these charging stations are constructed, they are going to be using more power, so I don't think that these will last the entire time, unfortunately. But this is a bad tide that's coming, so that means that this whole system should be running just fine, since we'll have some bad water coming through here instead of water. And now that we have these 2 water pumps up and running, we'll go ahead and look at getting these overhangs extended. And then we can get some more dirt blocks placed down. And then I'll wait to adjust this until it is a wet season that does not have a bad tide approaching. And really, with the way that I want to set these power wheels up, I'm going to have them go around and then probably go down this way and then across and then spit the water and bad water out here. Which means we can utilize all the space in the middle. And so I'm going to actually have some more terrain blocks placed down. And we're going to basically fill this whole thing up. And just like that, a 4-day bad tide has begun. You can see the bad water is spawning in. Our trees and crops should be able to survive this one. I think we've had something longer than a 4-day bad tide so far. But in the long run, we will get this constructed, and it should be able to keep the bad water out of this outside ring. So I'm looking forward to getting this constructed. We're still running a bit short on wood, but we've been extending our planting zone like crazy. And as soon as I lower all of this, we'll go ahead and get probably another forester set up over here, and then continue to extend how many oak trees we have planted. And the bots are making some good progress over here. So we'll go ahead and continue planting some oak trees. And I see they stopped placing dynamite, and I bet it's because we don't have any more dynamite being produced, since I have both of them paused. So we can go ahead and unpause both of them for now. Looks like we have plenty of bad water, so this should not be a problem to get the explosives produced pretty quickly. But we can go ahead and detonate all of this. And since we have all this power over here, let's go ahead and get another dirt excavator set up, since we're going to be using a lot of dirt blocks in the near future. So we can go ahead and place that down right here. We'll just need to make sure we get a power shaft set up so that it can actually be connected over here. And then we can start also connecting these to make sure that they are all part of one big grid. So taking a look at the beaver's well-being, it's up to 31 right now. We have placed down 0 monuments, but unfortunately, they all require wood products to some extent. But we can go ahead and get a detailer set up. We can perfectly fit one in right here, and we can even fit in a couple more in this area. And then also we'll take a look at the decorations, see what they need. Looks like the beaver bus is not adjacent to all of the buildings right here, so we can get one more constructed in this area. And just like that, the bad tide is over. Thank goodness, because you can see these trees are not enjoying that. And they are actually, I think, at the final place that they can actually construct stuff. So as soon as they build all the way up here, this will be the last thing that they can construct, and then they won't be able to actually reach over here since they can't get on top at the moment. I'll put some stairs in after they finish this, and that is so that we don't actually trap any bots in this area. And it looks like this dirt excavator is up and running, so that is going to help them very quickly get all these dirt blocks placed down since it's so close and it is running at 100% efficiency because we have a lot of power wheels running together. Looks like this forester, he can reach part of this area, but we will want to get some more paths set up over here. In fact, we might want to even get some tube-way stations set up going this direction. So unfortunately, you can't build anything on top of this, including the tubes. So without interrupting too many of the tree planting areas or any of these buildings over here, you can get an overhang placed over here and then just set a bunch of platforms in this direction. And then we can get some more tubes placed all along here. And then somewhere over in this area we can get another tube-way station set up. Since I do plan on expanding a lot more stuff over in this area, we'll get some more production up and running. And we can also start extending these levees over here. And once again, I forgot to switch this to bots. So this guy, there hasn't really been anyone in here. It's just been a beaver who has 0 working hours, not doing anything. So we have a bot in here. He'll plant some more oak trees down. And it looks like we do have a beaver working somewhere. Let's go ahead and figure out where that is. Is it the coffee brewery? I'll go ahead and switch that. Nope, that's not it. Aha, it is a lumberjack flag. I have no idea where that was. And holy smokes, the bots have been flying through getting all this constructed. And we are actually starting to run a little bit low on extract now. Let's go ahead and prioritize this building by haulers just to help them be a little bit more efficient. Let's also switch up some of the patterns. We'll have one of the purple ones, and then we'll also have this black one. Looks like, do all of these? Okay, only a couple of these actually have extract. And so I think we're going to go ahead and actually extend this for at least part of the way, since this whole system is actually up 1 tile in elevation. And then maybe once you've gotten partway through here, we can lower it down 1, and then have it run all the way across here, and then terminate at the exit right in this area. Drats. I was hoping that we could actually put an overhang over these, but I think we'll need to raise it up 1 more level in order for that to work. But if we want this water to irrigate over here as well, with my current plan, then I think we'll need to raise this up actually 1 level. It looks like they can actually reach this, which is good news. But we will need to raise this guy up 1 more level. Oh, we have one of the bots trapped up here. And now he can go ahead and hop down. And this is a disaster waiting to happen. Oh my gosh. I think as long as we leave this one and this one paused, then they should be able to finish these ones. And somehow, the beavers and bots can actually construct this platform right here through this corner. So, they are quite the engineers. And so as soon as they construct this fluid dump, then we can go ahead and look at getting some overhang set up and then place some dirt blocks on top. So then we'll need to see what do we want to actually fit under here, since we'll basically have like a second level below here, and then on the top we'll get some trees planted. And that is where we're going to wrap up today's episode. As you can see, we actually are starting to do a little bit better on wood. We have 500 at the moment, and we actually have some trees that are ready to be chopped down. And to get ready for the next episode, we'll go ahead and place down these couple of staircases. And then we'll also have all of these platforms and paths set up so that the bots can continue to expand this structure. So we have a lot of things to look forward to in the upcoming episodes. With the increased wood, hopefully they will be able to make this bad water diversion system a little bit quicker. And we'll also have to start looking at getting some more plank production set up over here. But first I'll need to figure out a long-term plan for how we want to actually orient everything in this area, since I am raising this level up, but I don't exactly know what the layout of the city in this area is going to look like. So if you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and smash that like button. I really do appreciate it. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.